This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories. And welcome to my review of Star Wars: The New Jedi Order book, I believe 10, Dark Journey. And this one is a relatively straightforward storyline where it really only focuses on one main storyline. There's a few small things that do happen to help set things up for later on stories, but overall it is mainly focused on Jaina Solo and her near fall to the dark side, where she is still grieving the loss of her brother Anakin and what she thinks is the loss of her brother Jason. And I say is what she thinks is because looking at this, knowing the complete Legends timeline, we do know that Jason does survive, but there's also the possibility brought up in this book that Jason may still be alive, even though everyone thinks that he is dead, but sadly it's going to be way worse for her where she actually has to kill Jason after he falls to the dark side and becomes Kitus. But I'm going to be talking about that honestly probably like a year from now since I don't even have any of the Fate of the or Legacy of the Force or Fate of the Jedi. I can't think of what's the name right now. It was Legacy of the Force. I haven't even got any of those yet where Jason becomes Kitus, and I'm still like halfway into the New Jedi Order, so I still have a lot of time before I finish this. But I do want to be looking at those. But yeah, going back to this one specifically, this is one where I think it's really important. You probably should have read The Courtship of Princess Leia before, which I did do. Luckily, it came out just at the perfect time on Audible because honestly, it would have been a lot more confusing to know what was going on in this one since it's heavily focused on the world of Hapes and its customs, people, way of life, and everything because you don't really get a good look into everything in Hapes besides through that story, we're introduced pretty well, and through this one, and it takes you a little bit of time to adjust if you haven't known anything. Thankfully, I did, and it was able to be in my mind from recently reading through the Courtship of Princess Leia, but I guess yeah, this could be a little more confusing for someone who didn't read that novel, and they need to pay a little more close attention to how everything works here. Although it is still clear, it is just a little bit. Hopefully, could have been better explained and is really reliant on you knowing that. But there's really a huge complaint. It's just something where having some previous knowledge is really helpful. And considering how far into the Legends timeline this is, you'd have to be a dedicated Legends fan, so you definitely probably should have read it, although that's definitely considered one of the more controversial and ones people don't like as much from Legends. So it was probably good to have maybe just a little bit more explanation of Hapes, but still it is, I'd say, well enough here. But going on to it, we have Jaina being manipulated to become the next Queen Mother because Daniel Joe is just really not doing well after the armies of Hapes were destroyed. She lost her child and has been in a depressed state ever since the early days of the war. They're also having to deal with the loss of Coruscant in this, and is the absolute chaos that has caused. And I think it was really interesting just to see Jaina and her nearly falling to the dark side, but realizing that she couldn't really become this person and then fully become a Jedi once again. It was interesting to see here her also to work alongside Kip Duran and her future husband, Jack Val, which is, I see the relationship, kind of being set up here, but the two, not fully willing to be committed to it. But yeah, honestly, I'd say this is a solid novel. Although it has one primary story, it does have a few offshoot stories, mainly looking at Han and Leia. But it's not as big. They do kind of interact with the story, but they're not a huge part of it. But yeah, honestly, this is a solid novel. I really did enjoy it. Not as great as Star by Star, which still isn't my favorite from the series. But the impact of really everything that happened in this last one in Star by Star was setting this up, and I think it handled everything well. But I want to know what you think. Please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.